Hi, my name's Zoe, and today I'm going to be talking to you about none other than a very special film called Lamb. This video is sponsored by MUBI, who are a curated streaming platform and distributor in the UK and Ireland, and Lamb is available today in cinemas across UK and Ireland. So if you want to go and see it, which I'm just in a minute about to tell you why you should, you can book your tickets using the link which is down in the description. So I guess you're wondering, why should you go and see Lamb? Well, let me tell you why. So Lamb is set in Iceland, in a very remote, desolate, isolated area, lots of farmland, lots of mountains. It's the latest film by Valdimir Johansen, and it's a folklore kind of horror film but with a twist. So I'm not going to lie to you, when I first saw the trailer for Lamb, me being me, loving extreme horror, being completely messed up, I was immediately going, right, this is a film about bestiality. And I think, you know, once you've seen the trailer yourself, you'll definitely also agree with that, because it's... You see a lamb and it's got a little human body, and there are pretty much no one else other than Maria and Ingmar, who are husband and wife. And you're kind of thinking, like, so how did this lamb come to be? Right? I mean, immediate first thought that my mind went to. And to be honest, everyone else that I spoke to also had the same thought. So I was kind of thinking, I'm going to go in, it's going to be this extreme, shocking, taboo pushing film, which, whilst it is certainly very, very unique, it does not go down the route of bestiality, which I have to say now up front, I absolutely love. What I was expecting, I did not get, and what I got was far greater than my expectations. This is a film, it's got so much more depth to it, so much more heart to it. It's heartwarming, it's heartbreaking. It's actually, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to give away my top 10 horror films of the year just yet, but it's safe to say it could potentially be the top of my horror list this year. I just really, really, really loved everything about it. It's quite a subtle film, it's quite quiet, it's not as outlandish as it looks from the premise. I mean, if you look at the plot of the film, you are expecting something that is completely out there, completely fucking wild, mental, you know, it's a completely bizarre concept. But what the director Valdimir has done is something completely different. He's taken a story which could be seen as very controversial and weird, and he's actually turned it into this tale which talks a lot about humanity, motherhood, loss, grief, and I really, really connected with that element of the story. I think you've got three amazing actors in here. So Numi Rapace plays Maria, the main character, the wife. Then we have Gilmar Snow Johansson, who plays Ingmar, the husband. And then we have Bjorn Haraldsson, who plays Peter. And I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce Icelandic names, but I'm trying my very best there. And all three of them deliver phenomenal performances. I mean, there's never a moment in there where you don't feel like they are 100% genuine as characters. I really, really loved that together these three build this, I guess, this relationship, which is complicated. And of course, you know, I'm trying my best here. I don't want to give away too many spoilers because I want you to book your tickets and go and see Lamb like this weekend or next week. Basically just ASAP, because I need to talk to people about how good this movie is. But yeah, the relationship that has been built on screen, it feels so interconnected. It feels so genuine in so many ways. I think, you know, it can often be really difficult to get across complicated relationships, whereas I feel like all three actors bring dynamics to this relationship that just work and feel like, yeah, that seems completely believable, especially when you look at, you know, their surroundings, the setting, potentially, you know, some of the background elements to each of the different characters. I think that's really, really brought to life through the performances that are shown in here. So I really enjoyed that aspect. For me, Noomi Rapace is, I mean, I love her career. I think she's done some really, really great things over the years. But I've got to say, you know, this one for me is probably my favourite film that she's starred in. I think, you know, Lamb, it talks about motherhood in a bizarre way. It looks at motherhood as the desperation of, you know, how often our maternal instincts can kind of kick in, take over, and be so desperate to have the unconditional love of a child and give the unconditional love to a child that, you know, you go to any extreme lengths possible. And there are some shocking moments in this film that really drive home just, you know, Maria's sheer desperation to have a child, to have something that fulfills her a little bit more in her life. You know, she has Ingmar, her husband, she has the farm, they have all their little sheeps and their little baby lambs. You know, that's their livelihood, that's what they do. But it's clear even from the beginning of the film that there's something missing for Maria in particular. It seems that Ingmar is maybe, you know, quite content with how things are, but Maria certainly is not. And when they get this, I think she calls it a gift given to them, when they get this gift, you know, placed upon them, you can tell that this for her is something that has completely changed her life. There's a few hints in there to aspects such as miscarriages, whether Ingmar and Maria have struggled to have children in the past, whether that's a fault of perhaps Maria's or Ingmar's is never fully divulged, which I think actually is, you know, a really clever way to do it, because rather than kind of laying it all out on the table, the audience we're allowed to make our own opinions, and have a bit of a think around, you know, how potentially what could have happened to cause Maria to have this, you know, this such a strong want to raise this baby lamb human, you know, creature that lands on their doorstep. What could have potentially happened in their previous life to make her so desperate to have a baby and have a child? And I think, you know, seeing that really, I mean, I bawled my eyes out watching this film. I've seen it a few times now, and it just really gets me, like really gets me. And I think that's such a, you know, powerful part of horror, is being able to bring something like grief and loss and motherhood and the, you know, the complications around relationships and families and, you know, adults and, you know, male, women, etc., and bring that to the screen through what is a very unique and different kind of horror movie. I think Vladimir Johansson really picked up on an opportunity with this, and rather than going down that route of, you know, what was he doing in the sheep shed late at night, he actually went down a route of no, you know, we're gonna completely dispel that. No one's even gonna at any point during the film have that thought, which to me is a much more intelligent approach to a story like this, which is why I just loved it so much. Also, you know, I do have to say that now, after having seen Lamb, I'm like, if I suddenly woke up and I had a little baby lamb with like a little human body laying on my doorstep, I would absolutely raise the shit out of that little lamb. It is like the most adorable thing in the world. Yes, maybe a bit weird, granted, but oh my god, like so adorable. My heart was melting. But essentially, Lamb for me is one of the top horror films to have come out this year. I just love how creative it is, how inventive it is, how focused on humanity and feelings and relationships and the complications around motherhood, maternal instincts, and the want to look after something and love something and put happiness above everything else. It's a very, very powerful film that really looks at compassion between humans and empathy and, you know, doing things for the people you love regardless of your morals and what you think is the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. I think, you know, this is not a film that is just all about weird stuff, and, you know, it's so much more complex than just looking at the fact that you've got a little lamb, human creature, baby. It's so much more than that, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go and see Lamb, because I would love to hear other people's thoughts, whether you loved it, whether you hated it, whether you're just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Do go and see it. Like I said, this is now out in cinemas in UK and Ireland. You can book your tickets. The link is down in my description. So do go and click the link, go and get your tickets, and then do come back, drop a comment in below, or, you know, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of those channels, and let me know what you think. But please go and see Lamb, because it is, told you, definitely in my top 10, probably top 5 horror films of the year. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. Fire! God only knows what I'd be without you. Terke pap. Met de dier. Thank you so much for watching. As always, hit the like button, the subscribe button. Also, you can do that thumbs down, which I always say, you know, if you hate it, do it. But yeah, thanks so much for watching.